back, spawn of Satan.
Oh, really?
What is up, demons, on a Wednesday night? Are you ready for a little bit of holiday festive horror barbecue? Because that is what we got for you tonight. That's right. We're going to be talking about because there are so many, everybody's got their favorites. But we're going to be talking about some of the most spooktacular Christmas-themed horror films. Christmas horror is not a new thing. This has been around for decades, literally decades. I mean, all the way back to the 70s. So we're going to be talking about all kinds of classics ranging from, well, pretty much any of the decades. So we invite you guys to also share some of your festive, brutal, bloody goodness as far as Christmas horror films go. And this is the time to share this out anywhere and everywhere that there is a horror lover out there. And we want to, like I said, we want to hear some of your favorites as well. And it's going to be a very good time tonight. But before we get into all that, we're going to take a quick commercial break to our brothers over in the UK at Poison Valley Scareware. Check that shit out. That's right. Y'all know what to do. You need to get over and check out David over at poisonvalleyscareware.com. He's got some festive shirts available for you as well, just in time for the holiday. That's right. Sorry for the coughing, by the way. Must have been the last soul I consumed.
They do get stuck in the throat.
Little bit. Sometimes, you need a little bit of that horror-struck hot sauce to put on top of that soul to make it go down a little easier. All right. So we are talking about Christmas-themed horror films from, like we said, multiple decades here. And it just keeps upping the game. There are so many films that are dedicated to Halloween, that are Halloween themed, and there's, I don't know, a little bit of a lull, I think, in the last few years, as far as that's concerned, other than, with Terrifier coming out, Terrifier 2, that was really awesome. The new Halloween franchise was kind of kicking ass for a second.
Yeah.
They screwed it up.
That they did.
So definitely this is kind of an upset of epic proportions that Christmas horror is kind of taken over. So let's go ahead and start. Well, wait a minute. Let me go ahead and welcome everybody in. What is up, everybody? Lizzie, what's going on? A super festive indeed. I had to get my cloak out and everything. But even more so, Santa Mortimer Deadfellow. Look at him. So prim, so proper, so luscious for the holiday season. That's right. And what's up, Kyler? Cody, good to see you, brother. I'm sure Rebecca's lingering somewhere back there. And oh my goodness, Looney, what is going on, my brother? Thank you for joining us tonight. The dingo is here, as he said. Yeah, let's do it. Oh man, so what is going to be your first pick? And you got some tasty, scarific choices that I just been dying to talk about.
Ooh, I think I'm going to go with Rare Exports 2010.
Yes, indeed. What a come from out of nowhere.
Very much. Yes.
That no one saw coming. Give us a little bit about this fucking Megatron of a film.
Well, you more or less see the film through the eyes of a child in Finland. And it's snowing everywhere, and their family is more or less take care of reindeers and butchering and taking care of all that good different stuff. And they end up figuring out or coming across that all the reindeers are gone. And there's a big mountain that just hovers over, like looms over everything.
Absolutely.
And the thing that makes it quite interesting is somebody shows up and says, there's something in there that we need to get to that's in this hole.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens to be Santa Claus.
How about that? They're trying to capture all these crazy beings, and lo and behold, they catch the fat man. Good old Father Christmas himself.
Yes, and not a happy individual.
Mm-hmm.
And would go towards the more of the term imprisoned.
Yes.
Because Santa was a bad guy.
And that's what we love our Santa to be.
But exactly. You get it, like, okay, it reminded me in its own rights of Eli Roth's Clown. Because it took it in a completely different way than you would have expected it to. And that's the same way as this one does, as it goes far back, like even farther beyond the St. Nicolaus and everything like that, to something deep, dark, that was dangerous. And not even the aspect of Krampus, it was more of the aspect of it's something, but you need a mountain to keep it contained.
Right. Because the level of evilness is something unsurpassed.
Exactly.
And honestly, seeing him depicted in more of an evil kind of way, I think is more fun.
Exactly. It was more original.
Yeah. He's not just his typical, I'm coming down the chimney and, I'm big and jolly. I want to eat some milk and fucking cookies, right?
Yeah, exactly. I want to eat some children.
I want to see him like,
Yeah, well, that's what it is,
to somebody or something.
Yeah, they made it. They took it. Yeah, well, like that, like the aspect, like when we were discussing like Bone Tomahawk.
Yeah,
it's kind of the aspect of taking Santa Claus and going that route.
Taking it to an extreme that you just have never seen before, even though the possibility of him being a creature, or let's even say, a creature that was actually once created for good, but then turns bad because of the way he's treated. I mean, you look here.
Yeah.
I love it. So I agree with Turbo Cerberus here. Such a weird film. Kyler says, man, seeing a naked Santa was something I did not expect to see. And well, that's because they broke him down into more of a creature than
Yes.
the old man Winter, as it were.
Yes. I think Kyler is referencing the helpers.
Yeah.
Santa's frozen little helpers. It was cold outside. I mean, come on, man.
Sure. I mean,
Snow on the ground.
It's weird. It's like throwing a roast chicken into the North Pole.
Right. Going to shrink things up.
And I love the fact that Kyler said, I asked for a severed head for Christmas. And I truly hope that you get that severed head, sir. Yeah, because I think I got just the right cleaver to make that happen.
It's always good to be a cut above the rest.
Oh, man, I'm so glad that Turbo Superverse TV said that's how I feel about A Christmas Horror Story, such a unique spin on both, because most importantly, if my computer will actually fucking work with me here, that is my first pick. This was a gem, a diamond in a rough that you didn't see coming. All of a sudden, it shows up on, I believe, for me, it was Netflix. It might have been Netflix or possibly Shudder. I think it was Netflix. But A Christmas Horror Story. This broke down so many different doors as far as A Christmas Horror Story. It's an anthology. And one of the coolest parts I find is that not all anthologies do the characters within suddenly have some sort of link between them.
Right.
Well, in this one, it is definitely that. And of course, it starts with Krampus. You got rich families and big old fucking trouble. The bastard kids and the greedy ass wife don't know they're in trouble. But daddy does, and he goes to his mom, who's even more wealthy, to try to get a loan. And all, unbeknownst, she knows all about Krampus and knows that Krampus is coming. And Krampus picks off all of the family. It was fantastic. Dude, the twist and turns in this thing. I mean, it's got anything from elves to fucking there's a couple more parts to the story that is eluding me at the moment. But I've watched the damn thing a million times. But, it starts off with, the ultimate Star Trek, poster child.
Right.
Yeah. Captain Kirk himself is this, drunken, jolly radio station DJ. And I'm thinking to myself, who more perfect to have driving this whole film?
Throw more eggnog on the fire.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean log. Eggnog than me.
I don't know. You might want to keep your Yule log burning because, I might show up. That's right. Absolutely. Hey, what is going on, Dustin? Turkey Man in the house? Yes, definitely in a top 10. If you are not watching this particular film during the holiday season, bad baby. Shame on you.
On the list.
I may have to come spank you. Or feed you to Krampus, one or the other. Or, well, let's not forget Brother Mortimer over here has all kinds of, wonderful little punishments that he can deal out as well. Now everyone's going to have nightmares about that, which is awesome. I love it. But to me, the fact of in the Santa world, that there's these elves and his, big nemesis is Krampus, and it's Santa and Krampus, duking it out.
Like an immortal battle. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah.
And I was loving every second of it. And then it got better. It got even better than that. To find out, I don't want to give. I know many of us have probably seen it, so I'll give it a little bit of it away. So the twist at the end is they sent one of the radio station people to go to the mall, the local mall, to like be on site and doing all that stuff. And what I love about it is the fact that he ends up going insane and literally kills everyone in the mall because he thinks he's really locked in this battle mentally between him being Santa and fighting off Krampus. Fucking hilarious, man. It was, yes, definitely has to be on your watch list. Tyler says, me and Krampus are buds. We have dinner on Friday nights. I love it.
He is a good gen. He's very punctual.
He's the best. Yes. He shows up in epic fashion. He's always looking amazing and ready to destroy.
Oh, exactly.
Oh, Cody. Yes. I have had dreams of all of us, Mortimer, myself, and a few other folks here at Morgrad Entertainment, to show up as Krampuses. Is it Krampus's? No. Krampusai? No. Krampuses. I guess we'll go with Krampuses. Who knows what the hell? Who knows what what the hell you call it? Apostrophe S, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's move on to Mortimer's next on the chopping block.
I'm going to get a little wacky because it happens with me.
And that's okay. We love wacky.
I'm going to go with Jack Frost. 1997. And this is not the Michael Keaton movie.
Nope.
Do not confuse these two films.
Nope. This ain't no dying or dead rock star, guys.
Now, this movie, though, is so bad it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's in on the joke. And a film that is in on the joke is going to have more fun with it. And you're going to have more fun with the film. So just take the idea of a psycho serial killer basically take Sandman from Spider-Man and make it snow and make him out of his damn mind and homicidal. Fun and laugh for all.
I mean, the idea of a snowman gone wrong and cuts and mutilates people in so many. This is my biggest thing about this film. The creativity of the kids are out of this fucking world. Babylon, whoa! He made it for the Christmas edition. I am so happy to see you, sir.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. And apparently the plural Lizzie gave us is Krampus.
I like how it's spelled.
I did too, because I'm imagining a Y on the end. Anyway, wrong show. Oh my goodness. But yeah, man, this film, if you like just unadulterated fucking gore and comedy,
Bathtub.
Oh man, were they fucking funny in this film.
Bathtub kill, sled kill.
I honestly think the bathtub kill was one of my personal favorites.
Oh yeah. Oh, yes. But you get something with the sled kill that you usually, honestly, don't get in too many horror films.
This is true.
Mm-hmm. It's usually the adults going bye-bye, and this snowman don't care.
He's an equal opportunity killer.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. But it's like Ginger Dead, man. It's like you got to go in there for it. You got to. It's the film's evil bong. I mean, it's like go in for the films that know what they are. Because you're gonna have more fun if you're fighting it, and it's like, oh no, I thought this was this, and it's like, no, you know what the film was when you started it. You knew what you were getting into.
I mean, from the jump, it grips you.
Right, it's crazy right out of the gate, and it's like you're either gonna laugh, or you're gonna go, "Oh, I can't watch this kind of film," and it's like it's a killer, it's Snowman.
Exactly. Which also brings up a film that I just watched today. As I was kind of looking through what are considered some of the top horror films for the holiday season. And it's from actually one of my favorite independent companies called Uncorked Entertainment. I don't know if you're probably familiar with it, as some of our horror folks out in the attic section also know. It's called The Elf. And one of the things that I have to say is it's kind of a slow burner for about the first 20 to 30 minutes. But man, once that little guy gets going and some pretty good moments, I find it to be very comical. I don't know if that was their intention, because the actors and actresses are definitely, trying to do their best, like really into their parts. But damn it, when the fucking choir shows up outside the family home to sing some, Christmas songs, this little elf comes out, and it's so goddamn funny. Wraps all of the Christmas lights that are outside around each one of them, and it'll just one by one they get electrocuted. I was fucking on the floor rolling laughing at this thing.
But see, that's exactly it. You know what I mean? And it's like it's a film that knew what it was. It's like we're gonna turn an elf not into the happy jolly thing, but this impish thing that just likes to create chaos.
Yes. Lizzie says Krampus, I believe would be the pronunciation from what I recall from my waning German, which is totally fine. That's what I thought it was too. But then, of course, Babylon turns around and says, well, how about crampons for the heavy days?
Why do you think we wear red?
We were looking for just to let Babylon in on this. We were talking about all of us getting together and dressing up as Krampus one year. So we were trying to find the plural version of of what it would be to be multiple Krampus. And she came up with the I think the appropriate term.
Krampus
and of course, Babylon damned it to hell, and I love it. It's fantastic.
The Krampapede.
Oh shit! And he goes extra absorbent, Lizzie. Hey, what's going on, Emery? He says, "Happy holidays, fellas, and happy unholy holidays to you too." Most definitely. Excellent choice of film. Should be, and as I see out here, even Dustin has said my favorite top 10 so bad it's good Christmas horror is Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. Yep. Most def. That was just fucking badassery.
Oh yeah. Full moon. Oh yeah.
Oh, there's always room for full moon.
Oh, believe that. Yes, very much so.
How do I want to follow this one up? I want to do something that's kind of out of the box here a little bit as well. Mm-hmm. And how can you not think of dead Nazi zombies in the snow coming back and coming to destroy these quaint little partiers in Europe known as Dead Snow?
Yeah, great one. Yeah. Awesome.
Another one that gives you excellent fucking kills, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
absolutely hilarious. And all based on the premise that, these kids that go to this cabin are just wanting to hang out. You
Yeah.
know, they're partying, they're having a good time, your typical 80s, I want to get some,
Right.
around the holiday time. It's, fucking snowing as hell. And they come across this coin, and it happens to be part of their lost fortune. Well, then the next thing you know, you got Nazi zombies coming out of, the mountain of snow, where they had gotten buried. And everyone starts to get annihilated. But I got to give the one hand salute to the gentleman that makes it through, loses a hand, and I mean he's just getting fucked. I mean, it was almost kind of Ash like.
Yeah. No, I agree.
As
Yeah.
far as Evil Dead, and I think that's one of the kind of surreal things about it that makes it so funny. And you're like, yeah, now he's becoming a badass.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
And he's facing all these amazing zombies.
Which is also, it's very Night of Living or Return of Living Dead there, or Night of Living Dead. I was right the first time.
Yep.
But totally how Barbara goes, her character arc throughout the film. Where she goes from that all meek and mild and can't defend herself, by the time to the end, she's just taking him out like it's nothing without batting an eyelash.
Exactly.
Like, dude, if I don't do something, these Nazi zombies are going to kill me and everybody around us. So, oh, hell no. And he, exactly though, but he gets pissed. He is very much like Ash in that aspect.
Absolutely. And he thinks he's gotten, away. He was the one that made it. Right. No. You can't stop the Third Reich.
Not when there's zombies. It's not as easy as that. You gotta double tap. It's that whole zombie land thing trying to teach you that. You gotta make sure they're dead.
It's too bad that they didn't, have that movie to teach them those rules.
How to survive Nazi zombies. Double tap them in the forehead. Make sure it's a good shot.
Oh yes, and we're talking about a film that was filmed on a beer budget, people.
Oh yeah,
not.
Yeah.
The fact that they were able to do what they could do with that budget, costuming alone.
Oh yeah,
and then you throw in some great special effects, very practical.
Oh yeah,
special effects, zombie makeup, the whole nine. It was just, I don't know, badassery. Check it out if you haven't.
Oh, very much
for sure. Got some major comments. You guys fucking rock out there. Dingo says, my cousin and his wife went to a festival called Krampus Fest in Maryland this year. See, I think I sent Cody a picture of one from Seattle. We're starting to see Krampus Fest here in America. We must be a part of this at some point. Apparently, it was kick-ass and cool costumes.
Awesome. Every ones that I've seen, the level of work that goes into the costumes that the people, and most of them that I've seen, the people make them. Like literally just make all their costumes themselves. And add to them, and it's just
it's the most amazing part, because I'm like, you guys are making these costumes yourself. And they look so realistic. They are so functional and just nightmarish. And I love watching the faces of children that are out in the street going, yeah, Krampus. Did you know that he's coming for you, little Johnny, little Janie? Did you know that?
Well, if you're sitting there cheering for him, they might be a good kid and not have to worry about him.
Exactly right.
I know better.
Which is, I'm kind of like I'm kind of like that priest in Little Nicky. Everyone has taken to sin so well, and they just absolutely are loving the demonic characters now.
But like Krampus, he's a great guy. You just got to watch out because he can be a really mean drunk. You know.
Exactly. And
But
one
I
to
mean,
eat.
look how much work he's got to do. You know, it's like, although fill those sacks full of just tasty little bits to pack away for the cold winter. You know, that's a lot of work.
It really is, you know.
He's doing them a favor.
Let's see here. I don't want to bring this up just yet, Dustin, because some of those are on the list. So we will definitely get there. Dustin says, so does that mean Popeyes will soon be a sponsor? I mean, that would be awesome. I couldn't really. Could you see Mortimer and Reaper, the Lord of Darkness, the face of Popeye's chicken? I mean, I could in a perfect world,
right?
But you know, if that could happen, let's do it. All right, man, you guys are awesome, absolutely awesome. What is your next pick, sir?
Well, I'm gonna follow up with the vibe you were setting for Dead Snow. Made me want to say Frozen 2010.
I'm excited about this one because somehow this missed my brutality meter. Tell us a little bit about the. I mean, you can tell from the poster alone that this is not for the faint of heart.
No, and seeing that's the thing about this one. This one snuck up on old Mortimer because I put this on with Ophelia, and we were just, it's something to have on in the background. Slow burn at the very beginning, but it pulls you in pretty fast. And the way that it is it's completely and 100% plausible to happen. And actually,
a little bit of realism
has happened. Actually happened very recently after the film came out. And a critic had actually poo-pooed this movie, saying it wasn't believable to what happens.
And the critics, man.
Yeah, and it happened. And they retracted the statement but never apologized.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
If you're waiting for an apology, that's never
But the base setup of this film is 3 friends decide to go skiing at a ski lodge and get trapped on the ski lift because everybody leaves for the next 3 days and a blizzard's coming. And you have no cell phone.
Great time to go skiing, right? You know,
because they were left in your locker. You have no way to get down. It's over a 50-foot fall. And if you hit packed ice or packed snow, it's like jumping off the roof of a building too.
It really is.
So you end up having to more or less see how they try to get through this situation just to survive by morning. And it's only 3 people that are stuck in a chairlift 50 feet in the air.
Now, why does this remind me of like 47 meters down? You know, just like concept wise.
Well, that's kind of the aspect of it in ways, because it's like you can't climb the rope because it's not a rope, it's a cable that will rip your hands to pieces, or then your hands give out. You're gonna fall. You know, and it's like there's no rescue. It's literally one of those situations where it just keeps getting worse.
Oh, you gotta love that, because you know you're on the edge of your seat.
Well, exactly, and that is, and even when you think they're done showing you everything, they'll get you again, and then get you again.
Absolutely.
And the thing
I love that type of terror.
And there's something actually quite really inherently spooky about this film, because while they were making it, the director and the crew rode the chairlift to pick where they were going to shoot the film. And the chairlift stopped on its own at a certain spot and then picked back up finally and took off and continued its track. He looks at them and says that this will be where we're going to film it when it stopped. They get back and ask the person why the chair stopped.
Mhm.
Well, someone a few years ago had done something in that chair to unalive themselves, and now the chair stops where it happened every time it does its run. Yeah.
A little bit of the paranormal.
Yeah. But the thing is that I also got to give a shout out to the director and the cast for this and the other indie filmmakers out there. I wouldn't recommend doing it this way, but well, everything's practical. Okay. I will tell you, there is an animal element that shows up in this film. They are not CG.
Nice.
Real. It's all practical. Everything's all practical. And when I say all practical, then that means that these people were up outside hanging from a chairlift or sitting in a chairlift filming this entire movie. There's no set.
I'm kind of getting the feeling of like Gray Wolf.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man. Ooh, talk about nipping at your fucking frozen.
Yeah. Well, it's screwed whichever way you go, and you have to see how these three friends try. It's out of all mine on my list tonight. It is, have to watch it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to give it a roll.
Kyler, you must watch it.
Sure. He says, "Yeah, that's not for me."
You will literally cost yourself as a horror fan if you don't watch the film.
That just makes me want to watch it more. So
yeah, no, it's good, man. I'm telling you.
I applaud you for bringing that one. Definitely. But he does make a good point, though. He says, I want a Yeti movie with a proper big budget. I think that would be amazeballs, as long as it wasn't CG to hell.
Yeah, I agree. To a degree on that, I would want to go more of the long lines of Troll Hunter. Go that route with the Yeti. Or the Dial-Off Pass with the hikers, and I think that would be really wicked way to go about that. Because I could get with that pieces on that one. They don't know what happened to them.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I could definitely get with that. I love that idea. Absolutely.
But this is definitely my must watch of my list. Well, they all are, but this one is high up there.
Now, generally, I don't go this route with horror movies too much, but I am a fan of the anti-hero. And the way that this particular film brings to life a legend. Now, we did this a couple of weeks ago about movies based on legends. And the fact that there is a lot of historical talk that the legend of Saint Nick happens to be a Viking warrior. And I am a big fan, obviously, of, the Viking tradition as well as the sagas and the whole beliefs and everything. But the fact that this movie came out from nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
Was definitely an eye-opener to where I felt like I could applaud Hollywood mainstream just a little bit.
Right. They took a swing, but it was a proper swing.
It really was.
With a sledgehammer.
He's a drunk. He's a Viking warrior. And, he was thrust into being Santa. He's kind of lost his way a little bit, especially because he has seen how the world of man has just become greedier and greedier and not giving two fucks about the holiday. And he does what he does best. He destroys. He's a killer. And the way he cuts through the opposition through this film, I thought was fucking fantastic. It's another one that I feel is not a kind of a holly jolly one by any means, because you don't expect Santa to be this fucking warrior badass. You know what I mean?
Right. But that's also what was quite refreshing about it to me too, though. Is like you said, it's like them willing to go take a swing like that.
Mhm.
Because it's not the holly jolly Miracle on 31st Street Santa. Because that, if it's not the Coca-Cola version that everybody sees and grew up with, then they can't do that. But well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I've always liked films that are willing to go a different route with it. It's like you've got the mythology of Santa Claus in so many different cultures in some way or some fashion. Why not him be a Viking warrior? Sometimes people need to get the boots to that.
Yeah. And apparently there is some historical reference to this.
See?
So I don't think that this is too far-fetched that people can't get behind, because obviously this was a hit with most people. So I would say definitely throw it into your holiday horror.
Yeah. That's a good mix. I'd watch that with Die Hard.
The film,
that's what I would do.
Looney, is Violent Night. Violent Night. That is the film. Definitely check it out. And Kyler actually hit this on the button. They are making a sequel. So let's see if they can keep that magic a-rolling and not dumb it down and make it stupid. Like Marvel did with Thor. Anyway.
Thor, well, it hurts. He's Thor.
Absolutely. Oh, man. All right. Next on your holiday chaos.
Well, I think we need to get a little more suited up for this and go with my favorite. Yes, it was my first, but it's my favorite of all time Killer Santa movie. And that's got to be Silent Night, Deadly Night, 1984. Oh, he already knew it was coming.
Yes.
I love this.
Yes. Oh, was this so taboo to watch back then?
Oh, yeah.
Unholy fuck.
Oh, yeah. This exactly. See, from people from our, long in the tooth generation, this was one of the films that you could actually get in trouble for watching.
Yes, you could.
Because not just because it was Santa Claus killing people, because it's not even really Santa Claus. It's just someone dressed as Santa Claus taking people out could literally get you in trouble. It got theaters in trouble for showing it. And there was a Killer Santa movie, which we will touch on shortly, that came before it. But this one, for some reason, touched people a certain way. And the moms and everybody went crazy to try to destroy this movie. And it just made all of us want to see it so much more.
What do we always see, especially in this age of the internet, where every time they bring their little, cherubs, their little, children to go get a photo with Santa, and they are miserable, they are crying, they are
screaming,
they are absolutely off-put on any of these fake ass Santas, right? Because they don't, I hate to say it. Well, no, I don't hate to say it, because I've been saying it since we saw A Christmas Story, back in the early 1980s. Those Santas, those mall Santas, are frightening.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly. And I think that was an aspect, too, that Bob Clark was trying to show in Christmas Story with that, too, is the guy was drunk, did not want to be around kids. Right. And then you go a few years down the line, right? Well, decent amount of years, but you get Bad Santa. And then the drunk mall crazy Santa's all the rage then. Then he's great. But before, us kids are like, God, get that thing away from me. Who the hell is no? And it's
you smell like beer and cheese.
Exactly. And it's like, Kids have been pissing in your lap all day, okay? I don't want to sit there.
Oh man, I'm just like, it was so fucking smart to kind of prey on that fear because as a lot of people say, clowns are their worst
Right.
nightmare. Well,
Right.
the mall Santa is also one of those. And I will add on to that the Easter Bunny.
Yep. I was just about to say that. The Easter Bunny too. Yep. Because at one point in time in Mortimer's old age, he worked in a mall. And they any time that they would have Santa or Easter for the Easter Bunny to take pictures with the kids, you knew that I was going to feel perfectly at home because you were just going to hear shrieks and screams constantly. Yeah, because none of them were happy most of the time to see him.
No.
But then, of course, we have one employee come in as a certain green, grouchy person about Christmas, and the kids swarmed and followed in a line behind him. Didn't care about Santa any longer.
Nope.
And I was that guy.
Did not. One of the greatest Dr. Seuss characters of all time.
And also,
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, we both also know one of the reasons that he's the greatest because he was narrated by Boris Karloff.
Exactly. And I would love to get my hands on that somehow. I really want to. It's been so long. It must be in my collection. Lizzie says, the only time I cried was when the mall Santa had a real beard. Oh, yeah. I guess that would kind of create a sense of creepiness because you're like, oh, shit, he's real.
Oh, yeah. Or, hey, he grew his beard out for this. He's really planned this out. He put a lot of work into this.
Right. Exactly. Looney says, I just now found out that the director of Black Christmas is the same director as A Christmas Story. Exactly.
Yep. Bob Clark.
He knew it. He was hip. He knew the secret.
Which is also, too, because...
show both sides.
Yeah, the kid for Toy or Christmas Story said that Bob Clark was, even as him being a kid, said he was a great director that was nice, that understood what they were trying to do.
Yep.
And to me, what it is with that knowledge is you've got Black Christmas and it's darkness and slaughtering gore kind of stuff, and then you go to the opposite aspect of that with the every family, the working man family, trying to have a Christmas back in the 50s,
right,
60s kind of thing. And I love that it's so polar opposite, but able to do so, both of them amazing. I love Christmas Story and I love Black Christmas. So it's like, I will get down with the darkness for Christmas.
Absolutely.
And
because in a way, they're both kind of dark.
Yeah. Right, but it's also too, you get the loneliness, you get the blue, the cold, you get the, where you can go out and it's all snowing and you get the lights and everything and it's really pretty, but it can be hush quiet because it's cold. Nobody wants to be outside at night, it's, when you get those,
scary about that silence.
And but you think exactly, and if you think about that back into our human history, what are you going to do? You're going to crowd around the fire and tell each other stories to occupy your time because you don't got your phones. You don't got any of this kind of stuff. And Santa Claus and Krampus and all these things have come through human stories, sagas, as you said, the same, poems, music for centuries, as long as Dracula and things like that have, if not longer.
Exactly.
So there's something real in there somewhere. But to think you get something pushed on you, like for Silent Night, Deadly Night, you get being Santa pushed on you when you have been damaged horrifically from an experience dealing with that. And in that film, you get to see what happens when somebody snaps. And I think that's part of why it scared so many people back then and was afraid to have people watch it, thinking that it would taint them for Christmas like forever.
Right.
But it never did that for me. It's like,
No.
this guy's
And I
got
don't think
problems.
it's
He's got a
bad.
reason to have problems.
Yeah.
But it's not like I expect, oh boy, and It's a Wonderful Life to pick up an axe and be like, where are you, Clarence? I'm coming to kill you, Clarence. It's like, there's separate films. It's different kind of vibes.
Absolutely right.
That's, yeah. I'm gonna
It's the ones that think about it, like I said, outside the box. It's like, yeah, this is something so beloved by all. But what would happen?
Exactly. What would happen
if things went sour?
Exactly.
I absolutely love it. I love this point that Dustin makes. He says, thanks to mall rats, it's the mall Easter bunnies who should be afraid of us. That's totally true.
That is not a wrong statement. That is true.
Oh my goodness, my computer is just on one today. Looney says, what a crazy contrast. Makes total sense.
Hey, sometimes you got to do something lighthearted when you've done darkness, or vice versa. Just to change, especially as a filmmaker, sometimes you want to stretch out and say, hey, can I do this? Am I able to pull this off? Challenge themselves, So, yeah, I thought it was amazing. I thought he did both films amazing.
No, for real. And the big thing there is that he wasn't afraid. He was smart.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously had, some good marketing in his head. That
Right.
he's like, people love to be scared. I mean, it was the heyday of horror.
Yeah.
And it was the most popular thing. So why not?
Multiple times it's been the thing, from Bella and Boris to go through into down to Anthony Perkins and Psycho. Going into the 70s and into the 80s with the birth of the true slashers and the creature features from way back from the 60s and stuff like that. It's like people love to be scared.
I mean, he wasn't an idiot, but he at the same time, he was like, I bet you.
Right. Exactly.
This very well could hit really good, not only with the horror crowd, but let's take a chance. Let's bastardize or,
right.
Make Christmas something to be feared.
Right, exactly. But that was the thing is changing it up on that where it's supposed to be. I mean, you're turning it all up on its head. Garbage day.
Mm-hmm.
I agree
as well. That's excellent, Kyler.
Yes. Yeah.
They did get really weird.
They did, and they went far longer than they needed to.
Right.
For being honest, but that's why it's for me. I always go for the original, and he's also a sweetheart in person too.
Mm-hmm.
He's really nice. He may have been a killer Santa, but he was a sweetheart. So he's a really nice guy. So
most def. Now this next one that I'm going to bring up is definitely a current favorite of mine. Not just because he is a phenomenal actor, no matter what film he does. Ooh, and this has been shown 3-4 times over. But the fact that somebody was, I don't want to say smart enough, but just had the foresight to say, well, who is one of the most hated, feared characters in Christmas history, dating way back, long before the idea of Krampus and all that stuff. And it was, in fact, the Grinch. And to finally show the Grinch in his true fashion, and thanks to David Howard Thornton, we got the mean one. And let me tell you, if you love gore, if you love brutality, if you want to see the Grinch, like I sense a young boy said, I want to see the Grinch unleashed, this is the film for you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This one was very close to being one of mine.
Oh
Very
man,
much so.
it's
Yes.
definitely in my top 10.
Oh yes.
It's
Yeah.
got
Right.
everything. He is a creature of habit. He obviously lives deep in the snowy hills. And multiple people, who would just be, on a hike
Yeah,
with
I'm doing your thing,
crossbow,
and yeah,
and he
he's
would
just
take
doing
them
his thing.
down.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of wrong place, wrong time, huh, sport? It's kind of it's like they come into his world, not the
Yeah,
other way around.
and he's
Yeah,
been like a local legend forever.
right.
Nobody believed the town drunk and all that shit.
Oh, it's real. No, it's real. I never believe Crazy Ralph. Never believe any of the guys
Uh-uh.
that are saying, "Don't go over there. They're like all evil." They go. They
It was
go.
much like let's say Friday the 13th Part
Yeah.
2, when all the kids are at the
Mhm.
local bar, and there's crazy man drunk outside going, you don't want to
Oh,
go to Camp Blood. No, you don't. There's
oh,
something out
come
there in
on.
them woods. And what do? They
Of
go.
course. Oh yeah, they top that off too and go fornicating in the woods and anything else under the sun that they can do to piss this thing off. So that's it. It's classic fashion.
Exactly. It's
You
like,
know?
go ahead and do all the wrong things that that's going to alert, you
Yeah.
know, this being. It's a recipe for disaster. But and of course they this is a pure example of indie horror film at its best. They knew how to sell it,
And
was
who to
able
pick.
to bring it to the theater even,
Yep. Yep. Well,
um,
you
and
picked
not
David.
get dinged
That's a
by
you picked
the,
David.
the Dr. Seuss legacy.
Yeah, you picked the perfect person to play the part.
Oh,
Perfect.
that was probably the biggest sell.
Exactly. No, I agree, 100%. But that's the thing is like you were saying, it's like as you can find the right cast of people and the right person to play this, that's something that, like you said, people you would have figured would have taken a chance on this idea or concept a while ago, but
Yes.
not hit the way that David and them were able to make it hit. Because he's got that trained knowledge in there. He's got that former cosplayer in there. He's got, I am a person that knows how to create character study.
I
So
was gonna say
yeah,
he
what
is
is
an
the Grinch?
absolute uh, bona fide character actor.
Exactly. Yeah. He understands what's in their head, whether he don't say a word. You don't have to know that, but I guarantee you hit the whole entire backstory of any character he's played is right here,
Yes,
including the Grinch. Because like you
yes.
said, there's going to be nods that people are going to get because of how famous the story is, especially with the Dr. Seuss. But you also, this is not my heart grew 3 times the size.
Mm-mm.
Okay, this is I'm going to tear your heart out 3 different ways. But that's the thing is knowing what kind of film he was doing too.
And we're
You're
gonna smash it right out your asshole.
exactly. Yeah, it's like it's unapologetic. I am the Grinch messing you up.
It
Merry
took it
Christmas.
to a whole nother level.
Exactly.
And people that are a fan of, let's say, the Grinch, uh, starring, God
Jerry.
damn it, yeah, Jim Carrey. Um, that was a lot of fun. He was cynical as fuck. He was sarcastic. He was, hilarious. But this is how we all envisioned, the mean one to be, or the Grinch, if you will. He was not nice. He did not care. And yes, he did laugh every time he sliced and diced you into pate.
Yeah. People celebrate the holidays in different ways.
Exactly right. Let's see. Looney says, I agree. I thought it was a lot of fun, but there are a couple of areas of real improvement that were needed for me. Mostly his lip makeup. Yep, I feel that because I think they were trotting a line.
Yeah.
They didn't want to make it just the same way.
Yeah,
You
because
know what I'm saying? They
yeah,
didn't
'cause-
want it to mirror, note for note, if you will.
yeah. Well, because Universal also
from the
owns the
Grinch.
rights to the character of the Grinch,
Mm-hmm.
of the Grinch that stole Christmas. Hence, how he's the main one.
Exactly.
But like you said, they had to. It's like a film that I would give an example of in the same kind of position. There would have been Monster Squad.
Oh, big time.
Because they had to. Okay, this is Dracula, but if you do it like Bela Lugosi, we're done. If you do Frankenstein like this, we are going to get sued. No flathead, no bolt, and had to do that for each one of these iconic monsters. And it's the same kind of thing that they had to do with this one, is ride that line, because you don't want to get sued, but you still want to have fun with the picture and,
Yes.
get that point. But I agree.
Brother Kyler, we wish you the most success, sir. With your interviews tomorrow. Thank you for joining us tonight. As a matter of fact, I myself have a little bit of an interview tomorrow as well. So I wish us both nothing but abundance and success. Have a good night, sir. All right. What is next on the list? You got a good one.
Yeah, I've been sitting on this one.
Mhm.
My last one for my list would be Christmas Evil 1980.
That to me right there looks like one of the coolest tattoos you could ever get.
Oh yeah. No, I miss posters and stuff that would do, like the 80s horror film posters were so beyond, it sold the films.
Always.
It really did.
Just like a fucking brand new vinyl LP.
Yep, same thing. VHS tapes, all that, for every horror hound that went through the video stores. That's what sold it, was the cover.
You got Barbie's decapitated head at the bottom.
Yeah.
You have a hand sticking out of the sack of toys, and then Merry Christmas completely X'd out at the top. I mean,
Santa ready to chop some wood.
Oh, and it wasn't wood that he was chopping.
Oh yeah. And then seeing this delectable treat from way back. If people, this, like I said, this one actually was the film I was referencing, for people that didn't know, that came out before Silent Night, Deadly Night, and actually squeaked by people. It didn't have the visceral reaction to people that Silent Night, Deadly Night ended up a couple years later. And this one, to me, in parts, is far more disturbing than Silent Night, Deadly Night, because it's more of truly getting to see someone go crazy. And it's literally, it takes the term "I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus" to a whole new messed up degree. Especially if a kid saw that and thought that daddy was Santa Claus for real. And it messed his head up bad. And when you go to Naughty or Nice, where good thing, you will get good if you're good. If you are in the naughty, you are going to get horrible things. This Santa delivers those horrible things to you.
These were the ones that, and that was one of the great things about the VHS era. You had trailer after trailer after trailer after trailer in the beginning. And how you kind of found out about some of these really amazing independent films was by seeing the trailers in other films. We talk about how tight the indie film world is now. I think it was even tighter back then.
To a large degree, yeah. It was word of mouth in a lot of cases with some of these films.
Big time.
And things, and then, and horror fans like us talking the buzz, trying to read whatever magazine we could. Fangoria usually.
Fangoria.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Fangoria. because it's like without them back then, in a lot of cases, you wouldn't have known until it was already in the theater, or you missed it, or it was a VHS.
Or somebody,
Bootleg.
paid to take a small, ad space.
Yeah.
Just to have their movie poster up there.
Yeah.
So this was one of those that if you weren't paying attention, it got past you. And I think that's why it didn't get as much kudos as a lot of them did, because number one, it's a very naughty film.
Yes. It's
especially for the times.
You're very much so. But I think that's kind of the thing, is it's like it's a psychological as well as trying to be a slasher. It's kind of two different things at once, because you're definitely
like you can accomplish that though.
Well, yeah. I mean, it did. I mean, to that end, that's what I'm saying. And it's like the interesting part too about this film, actually, one of the things that a lot of people have no clue about that I get to share with the addicts is our killer Santa's daughter in real life is Fiona Apple.
No way.
Yeah.
That's badass.
That's Killer Santa's daughter.
Yeah. It cracks me up because, when it comes to films like this that really take things to a different level, it always reminds me of some of the great 70s horror.
Very much so.
Fulci, that was able to give this whole psychedelic feel, like that whole
like a kaleidoscope of colors. Yeah,
what I mean.
Definitely,
and it fucks with you. Wouldn't it be great? And I'll just say this for everybody out in the Morgrot universe, because of the fucked up ideas that always come up into my head. Could you imagine Santa, Mrs. Claus, and all the elves as a cult? Could you imagine what that would look like?
I can't.
Like they're this actual cult, and it's like, they say don't drink the Kool-Aid. Well, in this case, it's don't eat the cookies.
Well, drink the milk, man. Why? It comes from people. What?
Wouldn't that be fucking amazing? Oh man. I think we just we killed a couple people here. Lizzie says, yes, we need to make that movie. I agree, Lizzie. We need to make the Santa cult film. I think it would just blow people's fucking minds. Dingo's like, what? Could you imagine? No one's ever done that before.
No.
What if this couple comes across this snowy village, and it doesn't even have to be real Santa. It could just be like a couple, and they have these little minions that are like their elves, and to the end of, I don't know, trying to bring about some like ancient evil abominable snowman kind of thing, and they make you the sacrifice to this being. See, what these are the things that go through my head.
I've got some ideas that we will have to discuss.
You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I think it would be a fucking blast, because that's what we're talking about tonight, people out there in the Morgrot universe. We're talking about these iconic films that take something that is so innocent, best time of the year, but yet it could go so bad.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. And in a lot of these films, for me, that's what I tried to actually look for, was that, to where it's like it's all nice at first, and then it goes tits up pretty quickly.
Yeah, because I mean,
but that's the holidays can be like that.
Oh,
it's that tug of war of trying. I mean, Christmas Vacation. Look at that.
I just watched that for probably the 200th time last night.
I love that,
and I love that. I really enjoy that.
I still think my favorite line is if I woke up tomorrow morning with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised than I am right now.
Yep. But that's the thing. Who's fucking, I mean, we talked about this around Thanksgiving time too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like no one's dinner with all the family from out of town and this and that. Nothing is a perfect portrait of just sweetness and goodness. There's
Norman
two
Rockwell
people fighting. You know, Uncle Dick fucking gets drunk and starts a fight. Or they're talking about, you know, somebody's, you know, kid or something like that. Oh, so-and-so's in jail. Somebody's a meth head.
Yeah.
That's what actual, you know, holiday dinners look like. It's not picture perfect, Hallmark. I'm sorry. You're just not going to get it.
Oh, no.
We've been ragging on that for like weeks.
Oh, yeah. Well, Hallmark was a creative business.
Exactly. Oh, I love it.
Money on cards.
Dustin says, "Free the elves." Yeah, that could be their role in the cult version of Christmas. You know, they could be these chained beings that you just need to free. I like that. You see, the ideas evolving.
Elves like chuds.
Exactly right.
Oh, that's
but
wicked.
For my final film, and I know it's most recent, but that's because this film literally punched a hole out of the back of the head of Santa Claus and everything that is sugar and spice and everything nice. And that is the current installment of Terrifier 3. Now, I know that we talked about David Howard Thornton and his amazing ability to bring these nightmarish characters.
He's a chameleon. Yes, very much so. Yeah.
But the one that, you know, really stands out so much is the fact that they dared to take on Christmas. And I'll tell you what, I think it was extremely brilliant on the part of Damien Leone to set this next installment at one of the, you know, most cherished times of the year, you know, for especially this country, and to take it to the level of absurdity, obscenity, and just brutal gore that you have never seen
so well
or could even imagine that could happen, you know, in a Christmas horror story.
Well, that's exactly.
And at first, I was kind of skeptical. I'm like, did you have to make it a holiday? But then it sat with me for a little bit. I'm like, okay, so you've done Halloween and you beat literally everything that came out.
You beat Halloween.
You beat Halloween.
Yeah.
No one can say that.
No,
there's no other.
They beat Halloween on Halloween with the Halloween movie. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the same. But I felt the same way at first. I was like, is this going to be when art jumps the shark? Because it happens with franchises. It's happened with all of our favorite franchises in one time or another.
Yes.
And it seemed like to me, it's far more calculated a decision and not just, oh, I'm just going to keep pushing art out. He's popular. And I think it's to add to the lore of the character and the mythos of the character that continues on.
And that's what you're going to find out.
Beyond the individual standalone films. But it's like you said, it's like, could this be the killer that keeps showing up and just destroying holidays that are so commercial and, that's supposed, like you said, it's supposed to be nice, caring time with family and everything, and then it turns into a horrific bloodbath.
Exactly. I mean, it was a very brave attempt
Mm-hmm.
because the first Terrifier happens at Halloween. The second
Mm-hmm.
Terrifier is still part of Halloween.
Yep.
So it's like now we're moving him out of the Halloween genre and moving him into something you never thought you'd see Art the Clown be a part of.
Exactly. Because, for me, the interesting part about it for me that I looked at it, like you were saying, is like the first two films, like you said, they had him in Halloween time. Yep. And if you're in Halloween time, in my opinion, then you've got the ability to hide yourself.
Exactly.
In plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
You don't at Christmas time the way that Art looks. There's not really a way to hide. You'll stand out, but Art's the kind of character that couldn't give two damns. You're going to notice him. He's going to make you notice him even if you don't. If he's eyeing you and has selected you, you're not going to have a very good Christmas, but he will. But he's just going to be playing hopscotch in your chest cavity.
Right.
So, exactly.
So if you guys haven't caught this, if you have not seen the latest installment of Terrifier, that you get a chance again on the big screen. We're talking about a film that destroyed. What was the film that came out at the same time? Oh, I know. It was Joker 2.
Yeah. Annihilated it.
Absolutely destroyed Joker Part 2. We're talking about a film.
$1 million movie.
I'm a huge fan of the first Joker standalone film. I thought it was perfect to its very core.
Yeah, they took a chance. They wanted to go a different route with it, not the same thing we've seen 100 times. I respect that.
And I honestly, I'm not trying to take anything away from that film, but we are talking about an independent horror icon who is now in the halls of Jason, Freddie, Michael, Chucky, and all of the other big ones. Destroyed a main. Yeah,
exactly. And it's like, how is that not fate? And it's like you said, it's like, if you think about it, right? The original Halloween technically was indie horror.
Yes.
It was the starting of the slasher.
It was.
Didn't know what to make of it.
Just like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Same exact. Very much so. Exactly. They didn't know what to make of it. We haven't seen a film like this before. And Art and the way that Damon and them had really worked it, it's like taking a clown and redefining what that term even means when it concerns to him.
Yep.
Because he is so much more than that. And you're not given really straight answers in a lot of cases. It's like you got to figure it out, but more or less you're just wondering to wait to see what the hell this thing is going to do to somebody because it's going to be bad. It's like, that's brutal. Oh, okay, hold on. Why does he got that blowtorch? Hold on. Why do you need that bag full of glass? That's Art the Clown. It's like he is always going to up it up. If it's Jason, he's going to hit you with this machete so hard he's going to cut you in half, but you'll be dead. Art is going to drag that out for as long as he feels like it till he gets bored. That is not the kind of psycho you want to deal with.
No, and he enjoys his work.
Oh, very much so.
And he doesn't even have to say a word. He's a mime.
Yeah. Yeah, to that end, and that's what it is. He's the cross of a clown and a mime. He's literally a mix of the two.
Which makes it, I think, so much more. So much of a bigger, dimension.
Yeah, and how he adds to him his body language alone. Not just how he is individually moves in each step, the way he plans. It's like he knows Art. And he should by now. I mean, which he does the way that is the time, and it's got to be second nature to him. But
Absolutely.
to know, and I know you know for sure as well, that David as a person is so far the opposite of Art the Clown. It's not even funny. He is
to the point where it doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense. You would never, if you just met the guy, you would never cast him in that role. If you're going by, I don't believe this guy can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you better stand back because you underestimated the wrong dude. He underestimated the wrong guy, and he's going to show you. And that's what he's continually done. Each opportunity he gets, he shows what he can do. He shows why, like you said, he beat Halloween.
And then turns around and beats the character that is actually his favorite character of all time, which is the Joker. So for Art the Clown to be, the guy behind the tree and it's not the Grinch, I think that is absolutely more terrifying without, making a bad pun there.
Right, but you got him for both roles.
He
covered both bases.
So if you haven't seen it yet, you get a chance on Christmas Day to check it out again on the big screen. And it's also available currently on streaming services. So you just basically have to look that up. And to let everybody know out there in the Morgrot universe, almost every single film that we've talked about tonight is on Tubi.
Yeah.
So guess what? Go to Tubi and check these films out. If you have not seen them yet, and if we've inspired you, hopefully, to check these iconic films out, go to Tubi and watch them. It's free. You don't have to pay for it, which is why, we carry a really big heart for Tubi, because that's the home of indie horror. It really is. And I love that. I know people are like, but it's got ads and shit. I don't give a fuck.
All of them do. Okay. Most cases.
Seriously.
And
if you want it without ads, you got to pay through the fucking nose. And who wants to do that? Nobody. Well, I know Reaper doesn't. And Mortimer here, he doesn't believe in that shit. He comes from a time, another place that none of that even existed. I want to thank you all so fucking much for joining us on our festive holiday edition of the Horror BBQ. And it's our last one for the season, for the year. And I have to thank not only you guys, the viewers, for tuning in every single time and giving us so much that when I thought of this show only a year ago, honestly, that we're still here. And the reason that is it's not just me. It's the rise of Mortimer Deadfellow. If it wasn't for you, we might not still be here. So that is what I am most thankful for this year. And I cannot wait for 2025 when we come back. And it's going to be bloody. It's going to be scarific and horrific. And we can't wait to bring you more from the Backyard Horror BBQ. So thank you, Mortimer, from the bottom of my black heart.
Always a pleasure, brother.
And don't forget, Morgrot Universe, we got some more coming. Friday night, Reapers Underground, double shot. And we have the goddamn program on Saturday. And this is going to take the festive season, the hoopla of Christmas. We're going to turn it upside down. We're going to make it unholy, and you're going to enjoy the fuck out of it. So Gives you a great time to laugh. If you are ready to shed that stress of the season, join us this Saturday. So as you guys are getting ready for tomorrow, Thursday, we're almost to the weekend. Watch some awesome Christmas horror. If any of them that we've discussed tonight, definitely check those out. Watch your favorites. And always stay heavy.
Thank you for joining us on Rebirth Underground. Stay tuned for more from Morgue Rot Entertainment in association with Black Flame Entertainment.